The moment we've all been waiting for. Win-loss predictions. What is going on, everyone? My name is Rodney. If you already knew that, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. And we got a big one today because we are predicting the wins and the losses for the 2022-2023 Las Vegas Raiders schedule. It's a big moment. I know everyone's been waiting. I'll only say this once because if I say it more than once, it'll get old. Last year, 10-7, right on the button. I called it perfectly. Obviously, some of the games, were not games that I had correct. I did say we would lose to the Bengals, and everyone said I was crazy. I pride myself on being a realistic, grounded Raider fan. Not the type of Raider fan that predicts us to go 17-0 every season, but someone who's going to give it to you the way it ought to be, which is me respecting the viewer, okay? I respect you guys. I'm going to lay out my rationale for each game. And the reason I say I respect you is because I don't hold back. If I think we're going to lose a lot of games, I'm going to tell you we're going to lose a lot of games. With that being said, let's get into it. Week 1 at the Chargers, not a primetime game. It is, I believe, 4:35 Eastern, and it's in L.A. A lot of people have already made the joke. It's going to be a Raider home game. I agree. Revenge game from last year. Do the Chargers have it in them to come and punch us in the face? I think they do have it in them. However, I think we're going to be ready to go. We notoriously have a pretty good history winning games on week 1, especially games in which people seem to always pick the team that we're playing against. And I think this is another instance of the Raiders going into LA and beating the Chargers. Final score? Not going to do that because that's stupid. I hate when people do scores to their predictions because no one ever predicts a blowout, but there's going to be a couple blowouts on the schedule, positive or negative, just like there are with any other game. Like we'll be playing the Jags, and people say, we're going to win the game, and it's going to be 28-17. It's like, what? No. 1-0, we're going to beat the Chargers. Week 2 versus the Cardinals. Interesting game, okay, because the Cardinals are good. What are they good at? I have no idea, but they're good. Kyler Murray, I think, is a good quarterback, although he has such a baseball player's mentality, especially on the sidelines with his body language, that I don't think a lot of his teammates respect him, to be honest with you. And I don't respect them either, so I got us beating them and going 2-0 out of the gate. That's our first home game, our home opener. I expect us to be pretty dominant in this performance. And you're going to start to see a pattern here of how I feel about this team. Because week 3, we go to Tennessee, and we go 3-0. We're going to beat the Tennessee Titans as well. There's something weird going on with the Malik Willis drafting. Now, they said Tannehill's their guy. Malik Willis could benefit from sitting a year or two. But the way Tannehill reacted to that is not something I thought that he would do. It was honestly out of character for Tannehill to sort of dismiss Malik Willis the way he did. For those of you who don't know, he said it's basically not my job to mentor him. If I do along the way, that's great, but it's not my job. I think there's going to be some weird things going on in Tennessee. I'm not predicting them to miss the playoffs here, but I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back, especially now losing A.J. Brown. I know they drafted Treylon Burks, but we'll see about that. I got us going 3-0. Week 4 now, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos is going to be tough. The whole division is going to be tough. I'm going to do separate playoff prediction video in the coming weeks, which will be super, super fun to break down the other teams in other divisions. The Broncos could make the playoffs, and they could beat us, and they might, but it's not going to be in week 4. That's right. I have us starting the season 4-0, beating the Denver Broncos at home, entering week 5 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who may very well also be undefeated. A Monday Night Football showdown. Mahomes v. Carr. 10.0, however many times they've played. Last year, the first game was competitive. The score did not adequately show how competitive it was. The second time we played them, it wasn't competitive at all. They killed us. This time, it's going to be competitive. It's going to come down to the wire. And they're going to give us our first loss. So through 5 weeks, I got us 5-1 entering the bye. And then we come out of the bye week 7 against Davis Mills and the Houston Texans. Now, I believe in Davis Mills. I think he's a good quarterback. Maybe the best quarterback in the draft class last year, although let's just give Zach Wilson a little more time. I think we win this game against the Texans. We're notoriously not great after the bye week, but I believe in Josh McDaniels. I believe his ability to coach a football team. And I think we're going to take care of business for most of the games where we should take care of business. And that's a W. Week 8 against the Saints. This is the game where I got us fumbling the bag a little, if you will. It's a trap game, East Coast. The Saints are a good team. The storyline is going to be Dennis Allen versus Derek Carr, his old coach. I think Dennis Allen is a really good defensive coordinator, and I think this is just going to be a game where, similarly to the Giants game, where we seem to be like in control kind of the whole game, but we can't really move the ball. We're kicking field goals, and we lose this one. So as of right now, 5, 6, and 2. I got a 6 and 2 going into Jacksonville at week 9. We don't have to spend too much time on this game. Jacksonville could be improved 100% with Doug Peterson coming in. Trevor Lawrence finally has an adequate, competent coach coaching him, telling him what to do. Zay Jones, rooting for you. Hope you have a great season there. Just not this game. I think we're going to take care of them pretty handily. 7 and 2 going into week 10 against the Colts. A team that people have said it's a massive upgrade to get Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz. And I do think it's an upgrade, but a massive one is a strong take. I don't think it's a massive upgrade. I think if you get pressure on Carson Wentz, he can run out of there. If you get pressure on Matt Ryan, it's over. It's over for Matt Ryan, for Matty Ice. I like Matty Ice. But I think, again, this is at home. I think this is a W. So we are 8 and 2 going into week 11 at Denver. This is going to be a loss here. Denver's a tough place to play. It's later on in the season. It's going to be a little chilly for DC4. And I think he's, debunked, for the most part, that take that he can't play in cold weather. But I don't think we're going to sweep the Denver Broncos. I think they're going to be right in the mix, the thick of things. And I think we're going to split this series with them. So we are, I keep losing what we are. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 going into Seattle against the 12s. To be honest with you, I think this is going to be an easy win to get us to 8 and 3. I don't know who their quarterback is going to be. It's going to be Drew Lock or Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield, somebody. But it's not going to be anybody that I'm afraid of. And you kind of need a good quarterback to beat good teams. And I think we're going to be a really good team this year. And I'm not afraid of the Seahawks, not in the slightest. Even with their wide receivers, you got to have someone to get them the ball, and they don't. So 8 and 3, going into a home game against the Chargers. I think this is where the Chargers get the best of us. But I think we lose this game to the Chargers. Another hard-fought game, I don't think there's going to be many games here where we're scratching our head as to how we got killed. I think we're going to be ready week in and week out. Josh McDaniels is really good at week-to-week adjustments, and I think he's going to really show that this season. We are now 8 and 4 going into week 14 at the Rams. I think we do lose this game too, go to 8 and 5. They're just a really, really good team. Thursday Night Football, short week. This is the moment where we say, oh no, the sky's falling. We were 8 and 3. We lose to the Chargers. We lose to the Rams. We're 8 and 5. But don't worry, because we play the Patriots on Sunday Night Football, so we get a little bit more time to prepare. That's going to be a battle royale, Master versus Padawan, Mac Jones, DC4. I think we're going to take care of business in that game. I think the Patriots are going to have a rough year. And I think it's going to show, especially in this game where Josh McDaniels gets the better of Bill Belichick. So we are now 9 and 5. We're now 9 and 5 heading into Christmas Eve at Pittsburgh. Really, really tough game for me to predict, because if this is Trubisky, that means he's been playing well enough to stay the quarterback this long, which means that it's going to be a competitive game. If it's Kenny Pickett, they've bailed on Trubisky, and I don't see Pickett being better than Trubisky. Either way, I got this as a W. We play the Steelers well, and I don't see that changing. So we are 10 and 5 with 2 games to go. If we split the games, it could be the difference between winning the division at 12 and 5 or being the 6th seed wild card or the 5th seed wild card. The 49ers, rivalry game, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows? I got that as a dub. That was the hardest game for me. These two, the Steelers and the 49ers, could go either way. These are my games to watch as to whether or not we handle our business down the stretch and get into the playoffs or win the division potentially. So I got us beating the Steelers and the 49ers. A Week 18 showdown. If we lose, we go 11 and 6. If we win, we go 12 and 5. It could be for the division. I'm not saying that 100% because I didn't predict the records for every single team. But here's what I will say. This game is going to have all its starters because the seeding is going to matter. And I think we come out of this game getting over the hump and beating the Kansas City Chiefs potentially to win the division. That might not be the case. They might be 13-4, okay, or 14-3. And this game might not matter for the division. It might help us get over the hump from the 6th seed to the 5th seed, the 17th to 6th seed. It might help us get into the playoffs. I don't know what's going to get us into the playoffs this year. I do think we make the playoffs, and I got us at 12-5, winning 2 more games than we did last year. Think about that. There are so many games last year, like the Bears game or the Giants game, games that we lost where you scratch your head and you go, how did we lose those games? I think we win those games this year for the most part, save for maybe the Saints game. And we beat the teams that maybe people don't expect us to beat in the times where we need to beat them. Week 18 or Week 17. Last year, it was Week 18, was a huge moment for us. I think it's going to happen again. 12-5, playoff team, division winner potentially. I'm not sure. That's where I need you to come in. Comment below, let me know. Is 12-5 enough of a record to win the division? I don't want, well, I mean, you can tell me whatever you want, but that's the question I have for you. Is 12 wins enough to win you the division? If not, let me know. Who's going to win the division? Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to be left out? Are all 4 teams going to make the playoffs? It's possible. All I know is that I got them at 12-5, and you should be very comfortable about that because you know I got it here, baby. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. New Madden video, Week 18 against the Patriots coming out on Friday. Yeah, that's all I got. We're going to be doing videos like this all the time every Wednesday, and then I'm going to upload other ones just randomly that I see fit. If you have any other topics you'd like me to discuss, comment below. I'll take those into consideration, and if I like the topic, I will use it and give you credit before I talk about said topic. Please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. And just win, baby.